Okay. Om Tvam Hina Pitavaso
Om Tvam Hinah Pitavaso
Tvam Mata Shatakrato Babhuvitha
Tvam Mata Chitakrato Babhuvita
Adhate Sumnamimahe
Adhate Sum Namimahe.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Okay, Shanta has also joined. So today the class is going to be taken by you people. So who's going first with what were their learnings?
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, sure.
See, my takeaway from this class is a Sapta Loka and a Sapta Agni and Sapta senses, Sapta seats of the senses. And another thing I learned from this, the same Shaunak happened to be the Naimisharanya forest also. Is the same fellow in the Shaunak?
Naimisharanya.
Naimisharanya, there he used to live. Is it Muni?
I
If
am
I
not
remember.
sure. I am not sure.
No, okay. Anantaram, how our Upanishad has come one after another, parampara wise it has come, and that has been in every way. If you look at that family after another member also takes it. Here
But
also
not
the
Upanishad, Gauri. Those are the Vedas. That is
Veda,
parampara for the Vedas. Yeah.
not for the this one, is it?
No. Upanishads
Paran-
are Rishi
Ah.
created. So they are written by rishis. So there is no handing down and there is no record of Upanishads. But because the Vedas are supposed to be made by, uh, given by the Lord, that is why the parampara is also important.
Oh, okay.
To whom was it
And
revealed first, and then to whom he revealed next, etc.
uh, and here also the same thing happens. The first the knowledge was given to Brahma, and then Brahma parted it to Atharvan, Anaftaram, Angirasaha, then Bharadwajaha, and Satyavahaha, Shaunak. He happened to be
Satyavaha Bharadwaja. That is one person.
the one name, is it? Satyavaha
Yeah.
Bharadwaja.
Bharadwaj is the kull of Bharadwaj. So Bharadwaj is the original name, and Bharadwaj is his kula. So Bharadwaj is like a surname, a family name.
I see that. I didn't know that thing. Okay, that's a very good thing. And another thing I have seen that Hiranyagarbha, no, where you say. Similarly, if you look at that, we also dream. So dream and Brahma's dream is more or less same thing. And first he takes a Virata Rupaha, Anantaram, he dreams and then the creation takes place. Similarly, we also in a small way, we also dream, create the world and dissolve it itself. So we happen to be the material cause, efficient cause, and all the causes we become. Do you think the Brahma also the same thing? He becomes the cause for everything. He creates the world and then it dissolves it also.
No.
No.
So I think you're talking of Brahmadin and Brahmaratri, not Hiranyagarbha, but Brahmadin and Brahmaratri. So Brahmadin is the period of creation, and Brahmaratri is the period of dissolution. So in the Brahmadin, you have the universe, which is in this Upanishad we have seen some order which is given. In Prashnopanishad we saw some other order being given. But always be clear that uh, God is not the material cause. He is only the efficient cause.
Efficient cause. Okay.
Yes, yes. And he is not the general cause either.
Another, he is a para and apara. And we are always in a para world itself, and we have not crossed to go ahead with the from para to the apara. So that's the another takeaway for me. Beside that, yadi our mind is tranquil, then only we can see at least little bit iota of his existence. Since our mind is always chanchalam and never stays in steady, that's what we are not able to understand the existence of that Parabrahman.
Right,
That's
right.
another one.
Hmm.
Another one is that you cannot teach anyone that Brahman is like that. Brahman has to be, if a person who has reached that level, he cannot express that in the words. Only thing has to be felt. Neither can be seen or so. That only has to be being and becoming, and feeling is the only thing. And ultimately, this Atma goes and as the river goes and meets the sea, similarly, this Atma also one day or other, how many janmas we don't know, one day or other it will go and meet with the Paramatma. Another takeaway is that the birds, the two birds, one happens to be the Jivatma, another happens to be the Paramatma. Paramatma, both of them are sitting on the same tree, but
Yeah.
watching whereas the Jivatma is trying to, what to say, all the object things and all, is wants to enjoy that.
Yeah.
And Paramatma just sitting and watching, because this Jivatma is surrounded by its ignorance. So that's what is not able to know that he is also same, that Tattvamasi is not able to understand. The moment that
Tattvamasi. Anyway, you can stick with
no,
it.
Tattvamasi Chandogya Upanishada is there.
Yeah, so that actually the meaning there is quite different. If you
Uh-huh.
just take out words, without the context, then you can make them mean anything you feel like.
I see. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Next,
That these
who
are
wants to
the
go?
things I what I learned, and I
That's quite a
really
bit.
like some of them. Are very good. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
Most,
you, Uttara,
most
for
welcome.
making me make me understand the concept of what is the para and apara and Mundaka Upanishad. It's just the shaving is not the head shaving alone. It's the shaving of our all our sins and our all the ignorance is the one. It
Yeah.
means that real meaning is that's the one. It's not
Correct.
that though they have given the name Mundaka, but the thing is completely you have to be off of all the malinam. That's what I can say. So you
Yeah.
can become pure and can know this thing. Then, thank you.
Most welcome. Thanks, Gauri, for sharing.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of learning, I see. Shanta, go ahead.
Oh, okay. It's an advantage and disadvantage in coming after a few people have finished, because
No, no, only Gauri has finished.
no, I was also there when Raunak and Anuj were presenting. So
Ah,
many of I also felt the same for many of their points, which I'll cover. Actually, my learning starts from beginning to the end, because I am only a very beginning LKG, UKG person here. So what was revealing to me was when you were more not on the sloka itself, but more on your commentary about the auxiliary sciences for comprehending Vedas. So I was only thinking about nowadays we have these Veda classes running everywhere. People teaching others to, recite slokas and
Yeah.
things. So I was thinking how deeply one need to really, if you were to really understand, you should have also learned all those, auxiliary sciences
Correct.
of
Correct.
pronunciation, of the meter, the
Yeah.
way of saying things and all that. That doesn't normally come nowadays. It's passed down more as a sloka learning also.
Yes. Yes.
So
Absolutely.
that was one point that I noted was, good for me to learn. And the three analogies that he gives at the very beginning, the spider web and how the spider consumes the whole of its web, was very, honestly, those three didn't make too much of impression for me in the beginning. But when I started revising and seeing it, it actually it came up as quite striking analogies. The spider, the fire energizing and the sparks going, and then how the I think the the hair growing,
Yeah. Yeah. Plant and hair. Yes.
growing and all that. So, and then of course the para and apara made the most important impressions, because
Yeah.
two things. Number one, learning that most of that we consider as learning is still only apara vidya, and the para vidya is still, somewhere to be reached by really persons who learn the apara vidya and then go to seek
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
the God, seek God. Then, on a lighter note, I was thinking where he was saying that if you don't do this, all that you have learned in your 7 births, or the all
Yeah.
goes away. So I was thinking, is there any credit for learning Mundakopanishad when we get that also?
Yeah. No, that is a hyperbole only. That is.
I know. And
This,
then the actually many of us do confuse uh, going to heaven as moksha, or as meaning that you merge with the God. But the difference that there is, okay, you do good deeds, you do yajna, you will be there. Your soul will be there in a pleasant place without the pain, or without feeling the pain. But then at some point you will have to come back to um,
thank God.
another birth, and then go through
Yeah.
all that. That was quite a learning also.
Yeah.
And that's basically a difference between moksha and heaven and all that. Then what made me laugh again was your commentary on having a dip in Ganga doesn't give you moksha, because of all that happens and whatever you say, all the hype created by for going and dipping so that you get rid of your sin.
Yeah.
That's also so much of ignorance in all this that needs to go, but I don't see that going anytime.
Now you people have to go out and you have to spread it in the community. Yeah, because the people who know this only are very few. So whoever is there, you have to go out and you have to take it up.
See,
the extent possible.
even small things like I'm saying, even in a apartment complex like this, there are people who were bent on putting a Ganesh idol somewhere, and then there were people who were saying, no, you shouldn't do it because all people of all faith and they live here. So then it becomes so much of hate and things. Where do any individuals stand? But I suppose one can at least follow a lot in our daily life.
Yeah.
Then there's also this. Can you explain once again this why we have this four Vedas in some place and three Vedas? And Anuj did ask this question sometime, and you did say, but I don't seem to recall. I do understand that Rig Veda is more of poetic verses, and Yajurveda is prose, and Samaveda is singing. But where does
Yeah.
Atharvana Veda come? Number one. Number two, why is it not being mentioned always? And why only three are mentioned?
So the three things which you mentioned, those are parts of Trayi Vidya. Okay, so when we are talking of the three types of Vidya, that is, you can, another name for that is the three Vedas. Then we are talking of Rig, Yaju, and Sam. And that is, as you said, Rig is in a poetic meter, in a chand, and those verses which are in a chand, and in Yajur we count those which are in a textual format, and in Sam we count those which are in a song format. But when we look at the chapter distribution, then it is split into four Samhitas, and there you have Rig, Yaju, Sam, and Atharva. So Rig is seen as Jnana Kanda, and Yaju is seen as Karma Kanda, and Sam is seen as Upasana Kanda, and Atharva is seen as Vijnana Kanda. So actually, Atharva is seen, even if you study Atharva, then you will find a lot of scientific stuff in it. Like there is a sukt which describes the how the body is uh, structured. So I remember especially one which tells you that understand why the knee goes out in one way and the heel goes the other way. You should understand why the structure is like that.
Okay.
Yeah, it is quite amazing. So that way, actually, I find Atharva the most enlightening, if you ask me, because I have a little scientific bias. So it's very interesting, and even the shloka, the hymns are a little easier, I would say. The Sanskrit of the other Vedas can be quite complex. But if you see the distribution of the hymns, around half the hymns are in Rig Veda itself, and the remaining half are distributed in Yajur, Sam, and Atharva. Sam itself, you must be knowing that a huge chunk of Sam is actually the same as Rig Veda. The only thing is that it has separate markings on it which tell you how to sing that hymn. So actually, that hymn is covered in Rig Veda also, but in Sam you will find some markings 3, 2, 1, etc. on top of some vowels. Then you have to sing in that particular style. Okay, so a large part of Sam therefore is a, well, I wouldn't like to call it repetition, but has verses which are the same as Rig Veda. So now I think, okay, now this here, now I'm telling you from my side. that those verses will not be counted twice when you are looking at Vidya. So when you are splitting into just three parts, then those hymns will be counted only once. But when you are looking at a split into four, then you will count them twice. So like that, there is.
You're looking at Trivedas. Actually, Atharvaveda is already into the three.
Yes, yes. Actually, what is there in Sama, no, those markings are not there in any other Veda. So, Sam is by itself. Now, all of Psalms, verses, hymns do not have that marking on it, also. That also, I must tell you that all of them do not have those markings. So, they could potentially, when you are counting it as three, they could potentially move this side, that side. Actually, these long prose ones you find only in Yajurved. That is what I found. So, even in Psalm, you will not find a long one. So typically those hymns will move into Rigved only. Similarly, Atharved are all in some well-known meter. They will also be read under Rigved when you are counting as three. So that is why Atharved is not given a separate count.
Okay, I think I understand better because I was probably listening more carefully. Thank you.
Welcome.
Is there anything else?
Shall we move to Prashanti? Prashanti, what are your learnings or questions?
Yeah, thank you, Uttaraji, for the beautiful Upanishad. And like Shantaji said very well, all of the other four have already captured it beautifully, and you have also revised it very well last time. But still, as a student, whatever my learning, even if it is repetitive, I will try to talk
Yes,
about
yes.
that.
Hmm.
First of all, I just loved the way the whole Upanishad is put itself. First, he teaches us about what is Paravidya and what is Aparavidya. That itself tells us, like, if you are a spiritual seeker, if you are a seeker of the Parabrahman, where your priorities should be, in a way, where you should be turning. So that was something nice that he talks about. And then he talks more in detail about Aparavidya with the Yajna Karma and how we must do that and all that. And then he completely, you know, uh, makes it into pieces, saying, this is all BS, like, you must go beyond this. And so that is again telling, when you are connected with Aparavidya and when you are connected with the world, this is your duty, you must do it. But don't think this is be all and all here. You must go beyond it, and that is Paravidya. That is where you must turn your head towards and see that. And then he talks about the Parabrahman in the most beautiful manner with the Agnir Murtha and following a few uh, verses, and then how everything is coming out of him, and he is the nimitta karana for everything, that he talks about very beautifully. And then he talks about how we must calm our mind, and our, only the mind which is calm, and only the one who is ready to do that prayatna, that tapas, and put themselves through the austerity to see him, only will be able to experience, not see, or he's not something that to be seen with the eyes, or heard to be, be heard with the ears, but some that experience of the Parabrahman.
Hmm.
When he start the mundak, third mundak, right? Though this is a repetitive shloka, dvasuparna suyaja sakhaya, it just started making me think more and more. And then I'm going back to the Apara and Paravidya. And they, where, we talk about the two birds. One is looking at the fruits, and other is just watching this one who is looking at the fruits, like, hey, fool, what you're doing types, right? So
Hmm.
then I go back and then think about the Apara and Paravidya in, keeping this bird which is plucking the fruits and eating it up. Till you are doing that, that is eating the fruits of your karma and living in this world, and enjoying the bhogas of this world, the whatever the Apara Vidya is necessary thing also for you. With that, you must do the yajna yagadi karmas, which are your duties when you are connected with this world, and when you are actually taking the fruits of this world, which is are consuming the fruits, if I have to say.
Right.
Then one day you turn your head and see that Paramatman, which he continues in the coming to the third and the fourth verse of the Mundak 3 Khanda 1. Then he again explains the Parabrahman and how beautiful and how magnanimous he is. So one day when we turn our head towards him, then these fruits will not matter so much. And that's when we hold his hand as our sakha, and then this slowly our process changes, and then these yajna yagadi karmas do not matter to us anymore, and then you concentrate on achieving that parabrahman. So this whole process of him intertwining everything and telling us, like, in a very beautiful pattern, really amazed me. Yes, it does need a read 2, read 3, read 4, read 5 to absorb more and make it part of our brain. But definitely this is something that I have learned from the Mundakopanishad.
So I know that all of you have understood this para and apara very well. So that is very good. That is actually one of the big highlights of this Upanishad. And as you are saying, this is also very important that while apara vidya is available to everyone, it is the para vidya which we have to go after. And if you note in that, he calls the people who stop at aparavidya, who stop at swarga. Once they have done a lot of good and they achieve swarga, and then they come back, they are satisfied with that level. He has called them pramud. That means vishesh roop se mood. So while this person is actually very intelligent to the extent that they have understood uh, how to gain happiness and be rid of sorrow in normal life, but the fact that they went so far and then they stopped is what makes them very stupid also. Because if you have come on to this path and then you have come, as I have said, the edge of the chasm, then to say that okay, now this is enough for me, I don't want anything more and I will not proceed any further, this was hardship enough and I cannot take any more of this hardship, I will not proceed further on this path, that person has been labeled a pramud by Angira, because he really wants you, if you have come this far, if you have done so much austerity, if you have developed so much virakti, that you have come this far, don't stop here. You must put in that extra effort and move to the other side. However hard it may be, it is a razor's edge, no doubt, but we have to make that effort. And I would also like to say from my side that, one might think, like even I sometimes think that, okay, in this life, I'm not going to reach that elevated position. But we have to try because this effort will be carried over into the next Janma.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That we must remember always, that whatever effort we make for our soul, this is all effort actually for the benefit of our soul. So that effort is definitely carried over into the next birth and we restart that birth with that um, alpha. So we must keep trying, don't give up ever, however hard it may turn out to be.
Yes, that is something from Bhagavad Gita also. I keep thinking where Krishna says, like, whatever that you do for your soul's, soul, that you will carry and you will start from thereafter. That kind of, at least keeps me on the path, saying, like, if not this birth, like Gauriji very well said, in one birth or the other, with the anugraham of the Parabrahman, we will be able to get that we will find
Yeah.
our moksha sadhana to be fructified. So that
And
is
that
something.
is the difference between what you do for your body and what you do for your soul. Because
Correct,
what you
correct,
do for your body is the one which will get consumed.
correct.
But
And anyway, the material body is at the end of the day is material, and everything that you do to the material, it goes away with the material itself, right? So we
yeah,
must understand that and make it part of our being itself, right?
yeah, yeah.
Actually, one thing I wanted to say, next time I see a yajna performed, or we do many times at home also, we will see the flames in a very different meaning, because now that, here he talks about how
7
the
times.
flame purifies, energizes, and then takes it to the upper layers to
Yeah,
purify everything. We'll
yeah.
perhaps see that much more. One of our priests, long time back, used to, in fact, show us how he's putting the,
Samita,
yeah,
the
some,
firewood.
yeah, correct.
Yeah,
And then only if you places it in that particular order and way and the direction and all that, the flame that comes out will have this kind of, he's talking about the dark blue and then the red flame and all that, no? So he was a very learned priest. Those days in Chennai, he used to show us every time we do Ganapati Homa at home. He used to do it so carefully and then show us that the flame has to, because here he really says that many times, don't give the ahudis when the flame is not properly lit.
burning. Yes, yes. Correct,
That's
correct.
a very good thing.
Yeah. In fact, actually, even most of the Arya Samajis, though, as you know, Arya Samajis perform Havan very diligently, and some of them are so particular about it that, as my friend Divya used to tell, she knew of this person who, even when he was traveling in the train, he would carry his Havan Kund and perform yajna on the way. But still a number of things have got lost over the years. So Swami Dayananda has given, if you read his books, then he has given according to the season. There is a difference in the havi which you have to put in the fire, and that makes complete sense, right? What you put in the winter season cannot be the same as what you put in the summer season. What you put during the rains cannot be what you put post rains. So the there is a whole science over there, and different kinds of wood have been mentioned, different kinds of things have to be mentioned, are mentioned. So and some of the things are very good. So in fact, one of the questions which Swami Dayanand has addressed in his magnum opus, that is Satyarth Prakash, is that the person, normal person, is asks him that all these good things like chwara, date, and all that you are saying, put it in the havan, in the fire. That's a waste. If I give the date to some human being to eat, who's needy, who's poor, it does a much better thing. Then Swami replies that if you understood the science of yajna, then you would not say this, because the benefit that this thing, when it is put in the fire, goes to so many people, and not only human beings but all creatures in the vicinity, that you won't say this if you knew this science. So actually, in Arya Samaj, even if you collect the havi, it is a standard havi and for all seasons. But Swami Dayanand has mentioned that you have to use different types of wood and different things to be put in the different seasons.
That's
So
the
one day I hope somebody will do some good work on this and make it available for people, lazy people like us.
for that's why no for the what we say Havan and all, they use the Samit. And here also, when Shaunak goes to his what a guru at that time, he carries that thing because that has the medicinal value. And
So Samit is not any particular wood, Gauri. Samit just refers to small pieces of wood which are used in the Havan.
Krishna.
Now this wood could be typically Palash is considered very good.
Yeah.
I think Palash is not even available these days too much. Then Amr, this
Mango.
Mango.
is considered
no,
okay.
different types of, but all trees, twigs, you cannot carry it. So the particular are there which has some medicinal value also. That's
So
why
all these come under valid
valid
Samitas.
summit.
Yeah.
Because I remember when my brother had that Genevu, and afterwards 1 year completely, he used to do the Samita Danam. That he used to do it, and he used to go and pick up the twigs, small twigs, and he used to do that thing. That's what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
And if you that smoke itself is very good for, that's one of the reason they say do the yagya anantaram, this what you say, havan and all is very good for our health.
Yes.
And that's what one of, right now Shantaji was telling, no, the 7 facet of the Agni, the fire, and it starts from the black. When you start it, it is absolutely black. That shows our ignorance, our Atma. I'm just giving the analogy. Is full of darkness, and we are not able to go beyond that. And then it's slowly it becomes little fierce, and then becomes the mind becomes swift and deep red. From there onward only we are able to know that what is the thinking about the para. And another smoke color. Lastly comes the scintillating and the bright. The moment it bright, that means we have joined the Paramatma. That is the analogy I'm giving you.
Yeah.
Maybe
So
that is when we are ready for the Paravidya. When your mind is as sharp as or as bright
yeah,
as that.
that could also be no, but there are so many analogies where he says these are the things, and he says once you are done, and the river as it goes and meets the ocean, similarly Jivatma goes and meets the Paramatma. So analogy wise I'm talking about. Right now we are all, every day we have been going to the puja room and doing the pujas and all.
Yeah.
Ah.
Go ahead, Ronak. What is it you want to add here?
Uh, Actually, I was just reviewing the Upanishad again for this class. I thought I was looking into the framework of dhyan that this Upanishad has kind of created, how this is different from various other ways we connect with the God. So I have made certain observations. I would like to put it before you for your review. So if we compare like various ways practiced to connect with God in Hinduism or in any other religion, we can see that they will clash with human psychology in some or other way. But uh, this way, which we learn in this Upanishad, is free from all such clashes, which I will mention going forward. So this Upanishad kinds of create a framework of perceiving Ishvara for the purpose of dhyan, which would lead to better quality of dhyan. Like 1.1.6, Maharishi highlights that despite being part of this world, Ishwar is not something which is like us. So there is no slightest chance of feeling envious of his perfection. Otherwise, human in general do have this tendency that we feel envious of someone who is very much perfect like us. And in 1.1.9, he says that he is originator like mother, and here the description is sublime but doesn't make us feel small or irrelevant. And rather in 1.2.8, he says that someone who ignores the Ishvara is fool or ignorant, right? And in 1.2.11, those who are with him are described as calm, vidwan, tapasvi. So, whereas in non-upasana or non-meditative framework, we would say, of any religion, a devotee is considered small, vulnerable, and God is sublime, which instills fear. So here, sense of fear is not created for Ishwar, but for not doing worldly duties like yajna while ignoring Brahma. So sense of fear is instilled for ignoring your duties that you need to do. And even chapter 2, which describes the divinity and its vastness, it described it as a shubro, like pure and radiant. And again, nowhere it instills a fear. Similarly, 2.1.7 rather brings an important point that we all being and even our food is from him and creating a sense of oneness in otherwise competitive world. So this also indicates that I don't need to fear those or compete with those who are on this path, like we all, right? I don't need to fear with you all that okay, we all are on the same path, who will win. So it's similar to the concept of Maitri, Karuna, Mudita as per Yog Darshan, and it describes Ishvara as Sakha, again, a friend. So, to summarize, viewing Ishvara as a distant, magical, higher power who might intervene in our lives can make meditation difficult. Rather, in this framework, instead of feeling small or unworthy before an all-powerful being, we feel companion with a friend who doesn't struggle with the same issues we do, like anger, fear, doubt, but Ishvara understands them and helps us navigate, which aligns with the definition of Ishvara in Yog Darshan also. So here he distills various traits of Ishvara from Vedas, which are more suited for the specific goal of, attaining Brahma and Upasana. This makes Upasana framework which is comforting and meaningful as compared to any other form of revering Ishvara. So this is something which I observed. I don't know how much right I am. So that's
That is true. That is true. Once you see God as a benign force, as something who is friendly towards you, uh, actually, He is always friendly towards you. It is your feeling towards God which is to be corrected most of the time, because sometimes we are, as you are saying, afraid of Him. Sometimes we are angry with Him because of all the um, suffering which may be there in our lives. So we blame him for it, just like as we blame people around us. So also we can blame him for our bhagya. And so that feeling has to be removed. And we have to see him as a friend who is always on our side. However much he might actually be punishing us for something which we did, but he is trying to give us this knowledge that if you follow this path, then your suffering will not be there. And that is the whole idea of these spiritual texts, that you are put on the correct path. And as you're saying, when you have this kind of a vision of God, that he is adreshyam, grayam, and so on, and now you start seeing him in that light, then yes, your upasana will be more fruitful. Definitely, that is correct. If we sit in front of an idol and then try to uh, force that idol to become God, when that idol is just a piece of stone, so that will always be an incorrect upasana. The correct upasana is when you see God with his true swabhav, and you try and meditate upon that nature, rather than something which is a placeholder for him, and which is a very bad placeholder. If it was something at least similar to him, you could say that okay, this placeholder is fine. Like the Vedas themselves tell you that you can take the sun as a placeholder, you can take the moon as a placeholder, you can take even the vast earth as a placeholder. You consider that as his foot, you consider the sun as his eyes, or the whole sun and stars as his head. So that whole structure the Vedas only tell you. Then yes, you could have some kind of a vision of how vast this huge and magnificent entity is. But that is the kind of thing which you have to use in your upasana, no doubt. And
and sorry.
yeah, continue.
And within the true framework of Ishwar also, like he ignored certain aspects like Rudra, because Rudra is more practical for doing daily work or doing your daily chores or kind of work. But when you come into the Upasana, perceiving Ishvara as a Rudra can become little difficult and can become unconnecting, unemotional. So, as if we see what's different from Vedas here, he chooses certain traits and distills them for specifically for Upasana. That
Yeah,
I
possible. But don't forget Rudra. At least in
no,
our
yeah.
our
We
state
have
of
in our Shanti part that, but
yeah.
but
Very
the thing is
important
that
to remember
yeah,
the punishment which God has to meet out. It is his duty to mete out that punishment in case you are doing wrong.
yeah.
Yeah, but once you're so close, then sure, you can stop looking at him as Rudra.
Or at least when we want to be close, like even in our family also, when we want to be close with mother or father, we don't want to think of him as beating us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
correct,
so
correct.
that's the thing.
That is true. That is true.
Uttaraji, another thing I want to ask you. Mantra japa, is it good for or not? It really gives that tranquility or some sort of a peace or not? Because mantra itself, the meaning is manaha trayate, as that which protects. So, is it true or not?
But it is actually not from manaha trayate. It's
Ah.
not that. That is not the derivation. Let me get back to you. But this mantra, as far as I recall, is
Mantra.
from different dhatu. Anyway, it actually means mantranam. That is giving of advice. So, like you have mantri. Mantri is to the king as an advisor. So similarly, this mantra is giving an advice to you how to lead your life, and that is why it is called mantra. So that derivation is not correct. Uh, but as far as the japa is concerned, if you are doing japa of the mantra without pondering over its meaning, without thinking about its meaning, then that mantra is useless. Then you might as well sing some other song. Any peaceful strain is good for you. It will make you feel peaceful. When you think of the each and every word as you are going along, then a different state will be produced. You will in yourself, you will see, like if you sit down and you think of Dwa Suparna Sayuja Sakhaya, and as you are saying it, you are aware of its meaning and you are building that picture in your mind. That whole thing will start sinking in you, and you suddenly new facets will open to you. And that is when the power of the mantra is revealed actually. It is not when you just like a donkey, there is that analogy which is given in Sanskrit that one donkey bears a sandalwood. So it is like that. You are a donkey who's bearing the sandalwood. It is a very precious thing which you are load which is there on your back, but you are like a donkey. It is worthless to you. So this idea which some people propagate that just sit and even do japa of Om, while it is better than all other japas, but while doing a japa of Om, you must think of God. You must think of the things which Om stands for. Then you can also think of what all God is all about. That is very important. Just doing lip service is not good enough. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
It is mananat trayate iti mantraha, if I am not wrong.
Uh,
No,
Contemplating on which protects you is
that's
mantra.
what I saw that. Yeah.
Mananat trayate,
I
that is
try
what.
it. That is Rakshati, Manasah Rakshati.
No,
That's what
mananat trayate iti
Oh,
mantra.
Mama Mat. Okay.
Mananat.
that would
That's
actually
what
say
I came.
say protects you from manan.
That is what I remember. It's mananat trayate iti mantraha. So that which protects you
So it seems to be
from
Gauri is saying the same thing.
with by contemplating on something, which protects you, something like that.
No, that is not correct. It is not right. Gauri is saying the same thing. Manasa Trayate is the same thing. From Mana, actually, the Panchami Vibhakti is incorrect over here. But it actually says that it is protecting you from the Mana. So it is incorrect. And mantra is not, it does not mean that. Mantra means mantranam, that mantranam which you are aware of, right? So it is derived from that dhatu. That dhatu exists. Okay, let me get that book.
Ma'am, even if we think it is something which protect us from mana, so it is actually something like which helps us overpowering the mana because it drags us into the world. And
Now, I thought by contemplating on which you will be
so it is
protected is called mantra. That is what.
No. That is not, I'm not getting it immediately. I will share on the group. But this is not the derivation of mantra. Mantra is from advisory role. So the mantra gives you an advice on how to lead this life. So that is how,
like like
what
mantri
you are saying is
minister.
actually like Gayatri, that Gayan protects you. Singing of this mantra protects you. There also singing does not really mean just doing lip service to it, but by understanding and comprehending the meaning, you are protected. So most of those verses which you will see in Gayatri Chand will be those which tell you how to lead this life well. For example, our famous Gayatri Mantra, which is there, tells you how to do Upasana of God. Dhiyo Yonaha Prachodayat. He is the one who should actually push our mind. And Dhimahi, we think of him. Think of him means we do Upasana on him, meditate upon him. So, like that, you will find that those mantras which are in Gayatri Chant give you a way to lead your life. While there will be some which, like I told you, some give science, some give some other traits of Surya or Agni, etc. So, there are many types. So, not that derivation is not correct.
But
I'm
some
sure
of the
about
words
that.
are there which, for example, hreem, I'm looking for the dictionary, hreem, kleem, these are the mantras in that comes, no? But there is no meaning for that at all.
Yes, yes. Those are all tantric words. So this tantric vidya came sometime during the time of Shankaracharya. You may be knowing that Shankaracharya himself believed in this tantric vidya, and you can see it in the Bodh and Jain. This thing also, not so much in Jain, I'm not sure, but in Buddhism you can see they make those that mandal and all. That is all part of tantric vidya. So this reem, kleem, and all these are all part of tantric vidya. This is not Vedic.
Oh, okay. Sri Vidya Upasaka, they say. No, that's the one, is it?
Yeah, that Sri Vidya is actually that mandal.
Yeah. So, okay. That's why they hirim, pleem, ploum.
Yeah,
Okay. Thank you.
Most welcome.
So many things there. Thanks
Yeah.
a lot, Uttara. It was a wonderful class. I really enjoyed it and always look forward for that. Hopefully, sometime, not this year, next year, we can meet again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let us see. Let us see how it goes. Because I also want to return to my studies.
Yeah, you need some break too.
But with the class, I have little difficulty in pursuing my own studies, so that is my difficulty. But
Oh.
anyway, we'll see. So shall we say our Shanti Path and close this whole thing, our
Okay.
whole session? It was a pleasure for me to teach all of you. It was wonderful. And
Thanks a lot, Uttaraji.
Thank you.
It was
Thank you.
really nice.
good, good. So I'm happy that I'm really feeling very deeply happy inside that you people have learned so much from it.
You made it very
Thanks to
interesting.
you.
That's the most important thing.
Oh, great. Wonderful.
Thanks to your
The
well-written
way the
commentary
teacher
also.
teaches, that's most important.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think commentary speaks better than my words.
No, not really, but it is again, for us to go back and read again and again. At times, instead of watching the lecture, when we are reading it, right, we can stop and think about it, then move to the next page and next shloka like that. So
It's very
that's
important
not
what you're
really.
saying that you have to actually read this many times before you can really get all the facets which are covered. Because in a first read, we don't get everything. So
Yeah,
it's
and each time it actually opens up a new facet itself on its own, and then
Yeah.
you grasp that and keep moving on. So
correct. So wonderful that you people have enjoyed it also.
thanks a lot.
Thank you.
So we do that.
Yeah, we'll do a Shanti Path. Om Yate Rudra Shiva Tanur
Om Yate Rudra Shiva Tanu
Akhora Papa Kashini
Aghora Papa Kashini
Dayanastanva Shantamaya
Dayanastan Vashantamaya
Girishanta Bhichakashi
Girishanta Pichakachi.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Om
Shanti,
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 Shanti.
Here I see the Om 3 times, no? 3 matras, elongated matras, no? Okay.
So this is the right way of writing. The one which is typically used is actually, it would be pronounced as because it is and with a anuswar on it. So it would be pronounced as and not om. So that is an incorrect representation. The right one is this. So what this indicates it that you have to use 3 matras om. You can't say om or om, but om.
Something similar to this verse, is it there in Shweta Shwetar also?
Yeah, maybe. I think there is. You are possibly right. Let me see if exactly this one is there.
I don't know why it reminded me of Shweta Shwetar, so that's why I thought it is there in Shweta Shwetar.
Yate Rudra Shiva Tanur. You're right. 436.
Okay.
Good memory.
It,
Yate Rudra Shiva Tanur, that is Adhyay 3 and verse 5.
okay. Yeah, because I remember the similar meaning, something similar meaning learning from Shweta Shwetar.
Correct. And in fact, the next one is also Vedic verse only, this same context. Yam Ishum Girishanta Haste Vivarshi Astave.
Right.
Mam Kiritra Tam Kuru. Ma Hinsiha Purusham Jagat.
Yeah.
That is important for me, at least. I feel that, oh Girishan, that arrow which is sitting in your hand, please make sure
Yeah,
that it
it does
is
not me, and it does not cause any difficulty towards me. Yeah,
Yeah, be kind to us and give us only good things.
yeah. Thank you.
Most
Thank you, Uttaraji.
Thank you.
Namaskar. Thank you, everybody, for
Namaste.
being.
Thank you. Nice meeting all of you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Same.
If any you people have any query or anything, you can still put on the group. So that WhatsApp group will anyway stay. You're most welcome to post your queries or learnings or whatever. Yeah, so it is there for interaction.
Thanks a lot, Uttaraji.
you.
Thank you so much. Namaste, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Namaste.